Ok, probando 1, 2, 3. Probando 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Ok, probando 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's share that again, I guess. I got an audio issue that I wasn't aware of during the last streaming session that I just got. And I realized like, well, the first Pomodoro almost expired. So I just solved the issues. It seems like some kind of OBS update came in through and it messed up with my audio. So, well, anyway. Well, so far it's been an interesting course. I'm going to finish it now that I am actually invested on it. I am learning about how to create models. I am learning about the models that already exist. And before engaging into this one here, well, I'm not going to replay the video, but he's teaching us how to use import sys and sysarg. And basically what this does is to allow us to get the positional parameters being used when we execute or run our Python code. What that means is like, let me see. Let me see if he's showing the code. There we go. There we go. So what he's doing right there is creating a file called, well, whatever, 1.py. And he's importing the sys library or model. And now he's able to basically get the list of arguments from the sys model. What means is that in this case, he's storing inside the first variable sys.argb0. So it's basically a list. The first item is going to be the name of the command, or in this case, it's going to be the file name. Last is going to be storing the first argument. So he's going to correct later. And he's going to switch back to 1 and 2 for the indexes. So what he's asking us on this video is to make a game. That is going to ask us a number, and the game is about guessing the right number. Basically, you know what? Guess a number between this value and this value, and basically that's the game. Maybe I saw that game like 15 years ago, I believe. No, like more than 20 years ago. I did this on C or C++. I don't remember. I believe it's C. I made this game in C, in Java, in Delphi, in Object Pascal. And I've been doing this game a lot of times. It's a classic one. But before that, I'm going to take my break right now. Let's actually, you know what? Let's take a break, but with Twitter. Why not? Let's see what's chilling there. Let me just resume the counter. So, okay, so let's chill a little bit with Twitter. I don't see there is something relevant right now. Yeah. I followed this account for a little bit, but because I saw a nice meme, but after that it's not. Whoa, A passenger with absolutely no flying experience landed a plane at Florida airport after pilot passed out. Oh my god. That's a win. Yeah, there is nothing interesting right now. Absolutely nothing interesting. Bitcoin crash again. Did it crash again? I guess that since some third world countries had the great idea of investing in Bitcoin to avoid inflation in the respective countries, well, guess who's having hold of the coins right now? So there is a big influx of money there. Then, well, now just like in Twitter, now is if you are going to ever make any money out of this, now is the time. Sell everything. Yeah, just oh my god, it's even worse than I thought. Whoa, it just crashed right to the bottom. Look at that. But then again, Bitcoin economy is surrounded by, well, the idea of Bitcoin was to be a replacement for currency, basically. The idea was to basically, you know what? I no longer going to be using my regular money. I'm going to be using this instead. But people don't really like that idea. So what they do is instead of using this as a currency, they use it as a commodity. They basically just buy it with the intention of selling it. And the idea of buying this with actual money, that's not the intended purpose of Bitcoin anyway. So it became like this commodity that you buy and sell in order to get money in the, well, regular money, regular currency. So yeah, it's not. The idea was to, if I want to pay for coffee, I might like to use Bitcoin and use that instead of regular money. That never happened because it's way too slow. Yeah, it fell down. There is a crypto crash. Yeah, that's the scam right there. Yeah, you put something there, you get twice the things. Yeah. And now the guy is going to put everything, all of his gains there, waiting for the double. There we go. Yeah. Oh my god, it's so much. And now I'm going to put everything, dude. Everything. Let's just put everything, bro. Reinvest. Yeah. You're so screwed, dude. Well, the difference here is that people who invest in Bitcoin never see their money again. So they see a number in the application, but in whatever application they use to invest. But it's such a chore to basically get. What the hell is this? Oh my god, is this real? Oh my god. Well, if this happens, you don't really need to worry too much about where you live. But anyway. I don't know this one. What? Oh my god, no. So it's just going to make it wider, I guess. How to get a girlfriend? Oh my god, what's going on? Oh god, why? Well, enough of this thing. It's time to get back to work.
Just like that. So if I save this, and now go back to here, and ran my file like this, all right, I get hi, then.
Okay, so let's do that exercise then. Obviously, we're going to push this one. Yeah, why not? Yeah, this button helps me to push the changes into GitLab. Okay. So the idea is to use the import to sys. That's it. And I may like to, when I'm running the game, I may like to use, I guess I'm going to use the same names, why not? sys.argb0, okay. In this case, it's going to be 1 because that's going to be the first argument. And the last value is going to be 2. So what that's going to do is that I'm going to store the first and the last values there. What happens if I don't get any? Let's see what happens if I call that. What values do I get there? First. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, there is an exception because I didn't give anything, basically. Index error. Index is out of range. Okay. Okay. So I guess I can say, you know what, try this. Except index out of range, maybe? Index error. No, that's very programming. Yeah, something like that. I wonder if that actually works. I don't remember very well. So index error, list index out of range. Okay. List index out of range, index error. It's printing out the same thing. Didn't change anything. Index error. Oh, wait. Because that should be here. Because I'm trying to do, it's not on the print. Never mind, I'm going to move this here. And the exception here. There we go. And I need to move this back one. There we go. The name first is not defined. Do you mean list? No. Okay, try index error. Oh yeah, well, since this is not going to work anyway. Yeah, I cannot print first and last because it's not initialized. Okay, first is not defined. So you need to input 2 numbers and then continues. Maybe I need to return one. Oh, it's outside function. How do I finish execution then? With a break, maybe? Exit is called exit. There we go. Exit is a function. Okay. It doesn't return anything. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we are validating that I need to input 2 numbers. I guess 1 and 2. And it's printing 1 and 2. So it's working as intended right now. Okay, so I'm validating that I'm getting the numbers. What happens if I just enter 1? You need to input 2 numbers. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so instead of using the input statement, I'm using basically the sys positional arguments. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so I know that I'm getting the first and the last value. So now maybe I should validate if the arguments are actually numbers. Maybe I can do it here. If I cast this as integers, then I need to validate if the values I'm getting are actually numbers. Because if that cast doesn't work, this is going to work. Well, it worked, but I didn't print anything. But if I do this, I'm getting a new value error thing, okay? So I need to add that here. The values, well, I got a typo there, but can be fixed very easily. The values entered need to be integer numbers. Okay. So like this, and this works perfect. Well, I did some I managed to add some error handling here. Why not? And now the game logic is going to come here. So I'm getting two values. I'm going to get the first and the last. So the idea is maybe I need another import. Oh, wait. From random import run in. What does it do? It sounds like the thing that I need. So maybe run end. What do you do? Return random integer in range AB. Oh, okay. So I need to input two numbers. There we go. This is perfect for me. I'm going to pass the first and the last. And I'm going to store this value inside the solution variable. And now maybe a while solution is not equals to another variable, I guess, to guess, I guess. I initialize in guess outside the loop. Okay. And now it's just going to pass, but okay, let me think here. It's complaining about something here. Was constant name guess doesn't conform to uppercase naming. Well, it's not going to be not for long, I guess. Okay, so that's the initial values to get the solution. But now I'm going to call an input. Okay, read a string from a standard input. Okay. Give me a number. Okay. And I may like to say, okay, let's just store this. This is going to be an input. So I may like to, whatever the answer is, to store it in guess. Okay, and it's going to repeat over and over again until you guess the number. So let's try that. I wonder if the name can be 0. Let's try -1 just to be sure. But I guess that if you put -1, it's going to be the same thing. So who cares? Let's try -1. Okay, give me 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let me think. I'm doing something wrong. While solution is different, it's a random end. Let's see this. Let's cheat, and let's see why I'm not able to see this. Why I'm not able to finish the game. Okay, again. Okay, 2. Okay, I gave 2. While solution is different from guess, and solution is 2. Oh, because it's text. I guess that's because it's reading text. I need to convert this into this. Okay. And now I'm going to get an integer. There we go, and the game ends. So I guess that's it. That's the game. I may like to give a hint back, because it's going to be very difficult for the user to guess the number. So the idea of the game is that to tell the user, you know what? Okay. While the solution is not equal to guess input game. Okay, so I guess I can condition the output here. For example, print is to print a couple of messages. Higher. And even with capitalization, why not? I'm going to condition the printing of this if solution is greater than guess, then print this. You need to increase, it's higher, please do higher. And if solution is lesser than guess, then I'm going to, okay, go lower. Okay. And in the case that you guess the solution, that's going to happen anyway when you break out of this. So I guess I could print. You guessed it. You win. It's and then I put the number. I print out the solution. I need to put the this, and I need to escape this one here. There we go. What's wrong? Oh well, yeah, I'm missing a closing. There we go. So what this is going to do, well, I'm going to print the solution still. Okay, let's do the between 1 and 10. Let's try between 0 and 10. Okay, the solution is 0. Okay, give me a number 1. Lower. 0. You guessed it, you win, it's 0. Okay, let's try again between 0 and 10. Again, 0. Oh my god, what's going on? What? Now you give me 4? Higher. Higher, higher. -1? 4? Okay, that was odd. I got 0 several times. 6. Give me a number 5. Higher 7. Lower 6. There we go. Okay, let's try without seeing the solution. It's complaining here by something. It's not a constant, my friend. I am initializing the value, but I wonder what happens if I comment this out. There we go. Guess it's not defined. That's what happens. Okay. Okay, let's try the game between 1 and 100. Give me a number. 50. Lower. 30. Higher. 40. Lower. 35. Lower. 34. You guessed it. You win. It's 34. And that's the game, basically. Yeah. Wow, I'm really old. Yeah, I did this game several times in many other programming languages. But I think this is the first time that I implement actual error handling on the game. So this is the first time I implement this. And by the way, I didn't exit the program here. There we go. So that should be the final version of the game. Let's watch the solution then.
Last. Just like that. So if I save this, and now go back to here and ran my file like this, all right, I get hi, 1.py, Andre. And I made a little bit of a mistake here. It looks like the first index is actually the file name, and then you get the optional names. So it's an easy fix, right? Also be customized. So that instead of, or if I keep getting it wrong, well, it's going to keep asking me until I get it right, and maybe do a couple of validation. Welcome back. How did you do with the random game? Were you able to solve it? Let's give it a try here. Now, I'm just going to use the test.py. Actually, let's just rename it, just so it's not confusing. I'm going to rename it to random game.py. All right. Now, in here, I want to be able to, first of all, well, let's think about
okay.
So the first thing we need is to generate a number 1 through 10. Then what we need to do next is to get an input from user, right? And then we want to do some sort of an input check. So let's say check that input is a number 1 through 10, and then check if number is the right guess. Otherwise, ask again. So that seems like a good program that we can write. So how can we do this?
Okay.
Well, the first task is to generate a number 1 to 10. I know that I'm definitely going to want to import the random library from here, and specifically the rand int. So I can just say from random import rand int, which we've seen. And here I can generate the numbers. So let's call it the answer is going to be rand int from 1 to 10. So this is going to be our machine generated random number that we need to try and guess. Next is we have to get the input from the user. So how can we do this? Well, simple, right? We can get a guess as input from the user, and we get the prompt. So we'll say guess a number 1 through 10. All right, so that's looking good. What about check that input that it's a number 1 to 10? So we have to do a bit of checking here. Now, because we want to keep looping while the user is guessing, I'm going to do a while true loop that we have to make sure we break out of so we don't have an infinite loop. And in the first part of the while loop, I'll check what the user inputs. So I'm going to say if guess, well, we know right away that the input is going to give us a string. So we have to make sure we convert this into an int first. So let's do that. I'm going to say if int guess is greater than 1 and int guess is less than 11. So in our case, let's do 0 here because we want to make sure that if it's 1, it's still good. If it's 10, it's still good. In that case, well, we can actually try and check if it's the right guess. Now, what happens if this fails? What if the user enters a string that can't be turned into an int? For example, if I go to my terminal here and I just turn on the Python interpreter and say int and then just give it some gibberish, I get a value error. Invalid literal for int with base 10. I have no idea what you're trying to do. So we can check for a value error here. So what I'm going to say is to try this bit of code. And for now, we'll just pass in here. And if for some reason it doesn't pass and we'll check for value error, then I'm going to print, please enter a number. Awesome. So we're checking that the input is a number 1 to 10. So for now, just to make sure that this is working, let's just do this. Let's break out of this loop or print all good in here and break out of this loop, considering that right now we're entering a number 1 to 10. Let's just make this a little bit smaller just so you can see it better. There you go. And for here, we'll just do continue because we'll just keep looping until we get the right answer. So again, we're importing randint, generating some random number 1 to 10. We're getting the guess from the user, and then we want to check that the input is a number 1 to 10. So I have a loop that I'm going to keep running, and I'm going to ask, is the number 0 to 11? If it is, then we're all good. If for some reason we get a value error, then we're going to say, hey, please enter a number. So let's just test that out. I'm going to go to my terminal, or actually we can just run this here. Let's run it. All right, guess a number 1 to 10. 5. And I get all good. Like, I think we need a couple of spaces here. It looks a little weird. So let's just say, guess a number 1 to 10.
Did you guess it?
Let's run that again. There you go. And I've actually already noticed a bug that we need to fix. If, let's say, I enter gibberish. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Please enter a number. And we need to stop this because it's going to get destroyed.
Yeah, please enter a number. Because you put that inside the while loop.
And we just kept going while true. And we kept getting a value error. So you have to be careful here. remember, when we continue, it goes back to the try block or back to the while loop, and it's going to try this again. But we're not asking for the input or a new input again. This is going to fail, and then another value error happens, and then this is going to fail, another value error happens. So we need to put the guess inside here, right? Inside of the try block. So now if I run this,
well,
let's guess a number. Let's give
you're
gibberish.
patching now.
Please enter a number. All right, we'll enter a number. We'll enter, how about 0? Nope, this doesn't work. It's going to keep asking me because, well, the number that we entered, it's less than 1 to 10, but it's a wrong answer. We could check this wrong. You know what? Let's do that. Let's say else. We'll say, hey, Bozo, I said 1 to 10. That'll be a fun one. All right, let's run this. Let's do 0. Hey, Bozo, I said 1 to 10. All right.
Okay. Let's take a little break. But he's doing the things very differently than I. Yeah, I thought he was going to use the parameters used for calling the script itself, but it's not the case. Oh, I got it all. Thank you. Yeah, Impa is the waifu here. Should I increase this one or sacrifice it for something better? Why? Ah, yeah, I see why. I might like to try the bow for once. 67. Huh, interesting. Yeah, let's sacrifice this thing and go for the bow. 67. Is that the highest? 21, 30, 100. No. I wonder how is this being organized? This is not for damage. Okay, 45, 41, 30, 21, but here I have a 90. Yeah, I wonder how is this being ordered. What's this? Is this a special weapon? I guess it's like a special weapon, but it's only 50. I see other weapons with higher values here. Okay. I don't remember how to play with the bow. I might like to try that one. If I sacrifice this one, I'm going to waste a lot of things, but who cares? 90. Oh, you're getting a speed boost. 67. Let's see what level 1 weapon is highest. 67, 50. I wonder if this is a special weapon. I wonder. Okay, let's try this one. And let's fit it this one here. Let's look for increasing, finding better weapons. There is one over here. No, I'm doing something wrong here. So I choose this level 1. And there is another one here. Let's pick this one up. And this is going to give me an extra speed boost. Do I have another one? I do actually. Oh wow, look at this. Oh, it's a lot of percent. So maybe I can do something really good here. Like this. Maybe one more. Okay, let's see if I had some good luck here. Find better weapons. And I use up all of my free time on that. Okay. Five minutes for that. Okay. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Okay, let's do 5. Hey, I guess the number 1 to 10. Everything's
okay.
Good. All good. All right. So now what I'm going to do is just see if the guess matches whatever the answer right here is. Now, before I do that, you see here how the PyCharm IDE gives me a little hint, a yellow line that says, hey, this simplified chain comparison can actually be improved. It's why IDEs are so powerful. And here I can actually simplify this. I can say if int guess is higher than 0 and less than 11, then do this.
Oh, that can be done.
The editor gave me a nice hint. Okay, let's go through here. So instead of saying print all good, let's say if this is the case, we're going to have another conditional and say if the int guess equals to the answer, we'll print you're a genius. And we'll break out of that. Now, notice here how we're doing int guess a couple of times. Maybe a better way of doing it is to just do an int here so we don't repeat ourselves and run the same function over and over. And just have guess like this. So again, we're cleaning up our code, making it read more like English. That's nice. And now if we run this, guess a number, let's say 5. No, that's not right. Let's do 6. What about 7, 8, 9? This guy's a tough cookie. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, come on. Is it 10? Wow. We're not geniuses because
10.
we just, tried 10 times. But this looks like it's working. Let's make sure that we're actually working this properly by cheating a little bit. I'm going to actually print out here.
Yeah, I did that one.
Yeah. See what the answer is before I type it in. Let's do that actually.
Okay. So you can debug it faster.
If I type in 4.
Yeah, yeah,
first try. All right, we're cheating, but it looks like this is working. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now, the last part here is that up until now, I've used the input, but I said I wanted to run it in a terminal. And I want to be able to actually, give it parameters, right? We give it the start parameter and the end parameter of randint. So we can make it as we want. So that's pretty simple. We have the import sys here. And we simply say sys.argv. First parameter, remember the first one's going to be the file name. And then the third parameter. And that's going to be the numbers that we're giving. So let's use this file now. Let's copy the code. And just for this example, because it's simpler, we'll just add it to our Sublime text file. Oh, and it looks like we have to do sys.argv here as well. Make sure we don't forget that. So let's fix that as well. Like that. That's better. And if we run this, not int, because remember the parameters that we're going to give it are going to be turned into strings. So we just have to make sure that we convert this into an int, like this. Now if we just copy this.
And that's where you need to...
Let's run it again. So I'm pressing up here because it remembers my previous command. Let's give that a go. Guess a number, 1 or 2. Let's go with 1. There you go. I'm a genius. And our program is now working. Our guessing game is now working. Very cool. If you got this, good job. If you didn't, well, you can just take a look at my code and hopefully see where you went wrong. But good job getting this far. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Okay, that was nice. Let's put this in the repo. Okay, it's on the repo now. Yeah, why not? Python package index, okay.
Up to this point, we learned that the power of Python really comes into play when we talk about modules, but more importantly, when we talk about the standard library that it comes with. That is, the ability for us to have these built-in modules that we can just import into Python to extend the language and have things like random module, the sys module, to be able to use in our code. And these were called the standard library. But the true power of Python, and I argue the reason that Python is such a big part of any company, really, in this day and age, and why Python has just exploded in popularity, is because of this third part. It's because of developers like you and I, who have the ability to create our own Python files. Thousands, millions, trillions of Python files, and actually share them with each other. So that
oh my God.
Instead of just having our own code, our own standard library code that we download with our Python interpreter, also have all the code that others share.
Oh my God.
So that we don't keep reinventing the wheel. If somebody else wrote a really, really good module that maybe can be used in another project across the world, well, they can share it, and we can download that module and import it into our projects.
Okay.
Really amazing libraries like NumPy, Pandas, TensorFlow.
Pandas, dude. I want to use that.
Libraries built by the outside developer community. Not the Python community, but in general, just developers like you and I, or developers working at Google.
Okay.
Developers that are working in South Africa, that are working in Fiji. It doesn't matter. We're able to use each other's code. And we're able to do that using the pip install command. And in these next couple of videos, you're going to see the true power of Python, how we're able to stand on the shoulders of giants, learn from previous mistakes so that
Python internet packages?
if we want to build a game, if we want to build a website, we don't have to code it.
I'm trying to guess what it means.
We can use bits and pieces, modules and libraries from all these different parts to combine it so that we can fast track and build our project even faster. So how can we do this? How can we use this knowledge base of the world? Well, we have a website for that. It's called the Python Package Index, or
Pypi.
pypi.org. And right now, there are 182,000 projects, 335,000 users on this website that have shared code that you can use. Unlike the Python module index, which, had a lot, but that's it. This has a lot more. Let's say I wanted to do email. Well, look at all the packages that I have.
Oh my God.
Let's say I wanted to do, image optimization with code. All
Oh.
these packages for image optimization.
Oh.
What if, for example, I wanted to, read Excel files or CSV files? Well, there's packages for that as well. And there are a lot of them. Pretty much anything you need, you can probably find on here.
Oh my God.
A good practice is to first check that something exists in, the built-in module, maybe standard Python module.
That's the first point.
Has it already. Otherwise, you come over here.
Email is in the standard library.
Noticing which projects are good, which projects are bad. For example, if I click on here, I can read about the project. I can see who's worked on the project. I can see what kind of license it has. I can see what Python programming language version.
Okay.
But I can also look at the release history and see, has this person been working on this project recently?
2018.
So you get really, really good at deciding which packages are good, which ones are bad. You can go to the homepage of the project. What I like to usually do is, let's say I wanted to read CSV files. I would say read CSV, Python 3. And then say maybe built-in. See if there's any built-in modules.
No.
I see over here that there's some documentation, official documentation that maybe.
Oh, yes.
I see that it has import CSV. So I can go to over here and just check, hey, is CSV actually a built-in module? Oh,
yeah, it's a built-in module.
Because, if it's a built-in module, I'm sure the Python community.
Oh my God, yes.
Extra features that I can't find here.
That's what I want.
Case, I would just go back and maybe type in, instead of built-in, PYPI. And now I can just browse through these and see which one I like. There are so many packages that you can do pretty much anything you want. That's the beauty of Python, this massive community. And it's not just Python. There's communities like JavaScript that use, instead of PyPy, they use NPM. You have Ruby developers that use something like Ruby Gems. This is what programmers do. They share code so that others can use it. And most of these are just completely free to use. You can use them in your code and not have to worry about it, which is really
nice.
And on top of that, you can also create your own packages. If you wrote a really, really nice module that you want to share, you can publish your own packages to the Python package index. But enough talk about this. Let's actually learn how to use this power, how to install something from third-party developers that we can use in our program. And by the way, I'm about to show you a few little packages, but in our final projects, when we build over 10 projects, we're going to be using a lot of these. So we're going to learn a lot more later on in the course. So don't worry, I'm going to cover some really exciting ones like texting, email, reading PDFs, machine learning, Excel, and a ton of things. So bear with me as we start to learn about pip install.
Pip install, okay. That was a good video.
I just found this Python package, PyJokes. And mind you, I have never installed this, so I'm going to try and do this from scratch so you can see what the steps would be like. So this is a completely useless package. It looks like it gives us one-line jokes for programmers, so I think this will be appropriate. I also like the fact that it has GitHub stars. So here, sometimes some of these packages are hosted on GitHub. And GitHub is
I could actually use that for Twitter.
You're able to put up your code up here, and people can view your code and download it. And a good measure of how popular a package is usually something like stars or forks, because stars are given by people that really like the package, or fork is people who copy the package and use it in their own coding, maybe on their own GitHub profiles. So this looks like a very simple library, so let's install it. So there's several ways that we can actually install this package. You can see here that the command is pip install pyjokes, but I want to show you first how it works with PyCharm, and then show you how to do it with the command line. So I have PyCharm over here. We have some relics of our old project. Now in here, in PyCharm, again, it's an IDE, so it comes with a lot of built-in things. I can do PyCharm, preferences, and then simply go to project modules. I can go to project interpreter. And then here, I see that this interpreter has some modules already pre-installed. I see that I have pip, but all I need to do is click on the plus sign here. If I click plus, I can actually here search for packages. So these are all the available packages that we have. So what was our thing called again? PyJokes. All right, let's search for PyJokes. PyJokes. There it is. I think it was this one with 0.5. With the author, PyJoke Society, just making sure that it's the same one. Author, PyJoke Society. So all we need to do here is to simply install package. There you go. PyJokes installed successfully. So now that I have PyJokes here, let's have a look at how we can use it. By the way, I can actually test to see that I have this installed. If I go to lib, Python 3.7, site packages, there's my PyJokes distribution. Awesome. So let's see how we can use it. Again, I've actually never used this before, so let's have a look. You can also access jokes in your own project by importing PyJokes. All right, let me just copy that. And using the function getJoke and getJokes. All right, sounds simple enough.
Okay.
I'm going to import PyJokes like that.
Import PyJokes.
The function was getJoke. So let's do PyJokes and say getJoke. And I can see that I can give it a language and a category. So let's say getJoke here. So string is English. So we want the joke in English. And category, let's see. It says we can do neutral. What are the options here? Neutral is neutral geek jokes. No adult jokes for us. We can do Chuck Norris jokes. All right, neutral is fine. That's the default. So we actually don't even need to pass anything here, but just to be safe, let's do neutral. All right, let's, I don't know what it's going to do. So let's just run this program and see what happens. All right, let's print out the joke. Let's say joke.
Yeah, let's see.
And then say print. Joke. If I click run, real programmers can write assembly code in any language. Ha ha ha. All right, here's our completely useless package. Let's do another one. Let's see if there's any funny ones. How to explain the movie
That's a fun one.
when you run a VM inside another VM, everything runs real slow. All right, some of these jokes I'm sure are pretty funny. Some of them might be a little bit advanced, but hey, that's actually not bad. You know what? I might use this package in the future. I think that's fun. But I won't bore you with me keep pressing play. I might not record for a few hours and just waste time reading these jokes. But I just wanted to show the process of how I would go about doing something like this. Now, most programmers that don't use PyCharm, instead of doing what I did, will most likely use, let's say, their terminal to actually do this. So I have my Sublime text here and my terminal or command prompt if you're on Windows right here. And if I do present working directory, again, this is a Linux and Mac on the desktop, which is where my 1.py file is. Now, if I wanted to use the Py jokes in here, and I click run, so let's say Python 3 1.py, module not found. No module named Py jokes.
Why?
That's not good. But that's because we installed it for our PyCharm environment, but not for us to use outside of PyCharm.
Okay.
So how can we do that? Well, we can do pip to install from the Pypi library, or the repository. So again, if I go all the way up, you see that I have pip install PyJokes. So I can even copy this and just install it for myself here. Now here's the thing. Depending on how you have your machine set up, if I do pip-v with capital V, it's going to give me the version of pip, but you see here that it says from Python 2.7. We want to make sure we're using Python 3. So in your case, if you do pip3-v, you'll get the right version of pip. So make sure you check that and make sure that you're using with the Python 3 or higher.
Pip 3.
In my case, I'll have to call pip 3. You can always set this up so that pip refers to the Python 3.
Okay, I already got it.
And then we're going to install. And here, all we say is the package name we want to install. In our case, it's the PyJokes package. All right. It's collecting PyJokes.
You're
Successfully
using
installed PyJokes 0.5. I also get a little warning here. You're using pip version 19.0.3. However, version 19.1 is available. And you might get this. And I always recommend just upgrading. So I'm just going to copy the command that they give us. And I'm going to say pip install upgrade pip. And I'm going to do pip 3. Right? So I've successfully updated pip. So again, pip 3v now has version 19.1.1. If I now, let's say, clear here and do pip list.
Okay, I'm gonna pause this. I have a call with human resources in 5 minutes, so I want to get ready for that one. So wish me luck, but I guess I'm going to be telling you what happened after the call because I'm going to resume my learning. Okay, let's see. Let's pause the clock. And I